Very good morning, students. Today is the last lecture of the Unit 6 matrices, and the method is diagonalization of a matrix. So let's start with our new topic, that is the diagonalization of matrix. See, for the diagonalization of matrix, some rules are there. That is, what is number one? What is the similar matrix? For similar matrices, two matrices are there, A and B, are said to be similar if there exists a non-singular matrix P such that P inverse A into P equal to B, or we can say that P inverse B into P equal to A. In this case, A and B are said to be similar matrices. Okay. Here, for square matrix A, please remember this rule. It will help you for the solution of the example. A raised to n equal to P D raised to n P inverse. Okay, A raised to n for any square matrix, A raised to n equal to P D raised to n P inverse. And two important theorems statements are there. If A is any n cross n matrix, then matrix A is diagonalizable. A is any n cross n matrix means what? If A is any square matrix, then matrix A is diagonalizable if and only if A has n linearly independent eigenvectors. Okay, if A has less than n linearly independent eigenvector, then that matrix is not diagonalizable. Okay. And the other theorem, that is, if A be any n cross n matrix, it means if A is any square matrix, then A is diagonalizable if all eigenvalues of A are real and distinct. Okay, so these two theorems are important theorem. Statement is important, proof is not in your course. So please remember the statement of these two theorem. One student has one doubt. Dwanil has one doubt. Solve example 5 and 6 of topic Cayley-Hamilton. Dwanil, I already told you. See, Cayley-Hamilton we have discussed in our yesterday's lecture, right? For any query regarding yesterday's lecture or the previous one's any lecture, you can ask me through Telegram or through call. Okay, because as our internal exam is very soon and we have less time, so we'll discuss new topic every day. Okay, Dhwani? For any query, you can call me, or you may ask through Telegram also. Here, working rule for the diagonalization of a square matrix. Because if I spend my time for the yesterday's topic, then we'll not able to complete the whole course. Okay, that's why. Number one, find working rules are there for the diagonalization of a square matrix A. First, find eigenvalues and of a square matrix. And number two, find eigenvector corresponding to each eigenvalues. In previous lecture, I already told you this eigenvalue and eigenvector is most important for the next topic, right? And in this topic, again, we'll repeat how to find the eigenvalue and eigenvector. And in the third rule, find the model matrix P having the normalized eigenvector. And fourth one, how to find this? model matrix. There are two methods. Find the diagonalization of the matrix. We have to find D by P inverse AP, or by prove that AD equal to AP. How to do these 4 steps we'll learn in our examples. Okay, so let's start our example. Our first question is, that is power. If you have any Mahir, if you ask about, see, I think D raised to n, right? Here, if you will ask in example like find a raised to 5, something like that, right? If you have any you have given any matrix A and you ask to find a raised to 5, at that time this will help you. At that time this will help you. Okay, so let's start the example. See, find matrix P that diagonalize this given square matrix. This is 2 by 2 matrix. Hence find a raised to 10, right? Also find the eigenvalues of A square. See, let's start. Our given matrix A, that is 2 by 2 square matrix. For the characteristic equation, as you all know, A minus lambda I equal to 0. It means here 1 minus lambda 0 minus 1, 2 minus lambda equal to 0. After simplification, the eigenvalues are what? 1 and 2. Here, all eigenvalues of A are real and distinct. Okay, so consider that the matrix equation A minus lambda I x equal to 0. We are doing this for finding eigenvector. Please recall the chapter, recall the topic eigenvalue and eigenvector. This is eigenvalues, and now whatever we are doing, that is for finding eigenvector. So I am doing this matrix A minus lambda I x equal to 0. Now, as our first eigenvalue is what? Lambda equal to 1. Sorry, lambda equal to 1. So by substituting lambda equal to 1 in this equation, right? Here 1 minus 1 is 0 and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 0, 0 and minus 1, 1, xy 0, 0. So first row is 0 both the side, right? So from the second row, here minus, sorry, minus x plus y equal to 0. So as minus x plus y equal to 0, so we can say that here x is equal to y, right? Here minus x plus y, it means x is equal to y. So in first row, both left hand side and right hand side is 0. What does it mean? It does mean we have one free variable. Agree? As we have one free variable, suppose I assume that y is equal to t. If I assume that y is equal to t, it means what? X, here x and y both are t. It means here we can write as both are t. So if I get t common, my vector is this, right? So here t x1 and my x1 is 1, 1. So for eigenvector, lambda is equal to 1. For eigenvalue, lambda is equal to 1. What is my eigenvector? 1, 1. Right? Similarly, for the other value, for this second value, lambda equal to 2. So if I substitute lambda equal to 2 in this my equation, characteristic equation, then I have minus 1, 0, x equal here 0 and here minus 1, 0. It means both are same. Both row are same. From this minus x equal to 0. So minus x equal to 0, and from second row again minus x equal to 0. So we can say that x equal to 0, but there is no value in both y. There is no indication for y, right? So here y is free. So here y equal to t. So we can take y equal to t, and suppose we assume that t equal to 1. Our second eigenvector, that is 0, 1, or also we can write as, suppose I am right here t. So this one is t, And if I get T common, wait a minute, right? If I am writing here, T, this Y is my T. And if I get T common, then my other eigenvector is 0, 1. So my second eigenvector is 0, 1. Any doubt, students, about this eigenvalue and eigenvector? If you have any doubt, please let me know, because without eigenvalue and eigenvector, you can't do this topic as well as Cayley-Hamilton theorem, our yesterday's topic also. So please let me know. Please give fast response. Waiting for your response. Have you any doubt about this eigenvalue and eigenvector? Okay. So, okay, very good. So thank you, students, for the responding. Some students have given the response that they have no doubt, and no one is asking for any doubt, right? So I'm going ahead. See, here P. P is x1, x2. x1 is our first eigenvector, that is 1, 1. Yes. And x2 is our second eigenvector, that is 0, 1. Okay. Now, for the 2 by 2 matrix, this one is P. This one is P inverse. For 2 by 2 matrix, if I want to write P inverse directly, then what is the rule? Anyone? Please raise your hand. For 2 by 2 matrix, I want to write the inverse. What is the rule? Please raise your hand. You have done in your school days in 11th, 12th standard. Yes, very good. Yes, Hita. One thing is right. And what is the? Yes, Unnati, you are also right. Interchange and opposite. What we have to interchange? Yes. Yes, Bridges, I am going to unmute you. Please give me the answer.
Yeah, ma'am. A11 and A22 cross change, and the minus sign is A12 and A21.
Exactly, perfectly right. Thank you. So, yes, very good. So, many students have given answer in the chat box also. So, students, for directly writing the P inverse of 2 by 2 matrix, please remember this is the shortcut method. We have to swap these diagonal elements. We have to swap these diagonal elements, and we have to change other element sign, right? That is here by swapping 1, 1, both are same. So here 1, 1, and by changing the sign of this element. So here 1 change by minus 1. So here we have P, and this is P inverse. Now consider P inverse AP. So this is P inverse, this one is P, and this one is A. By doing the matrix multiplication, we get 1, 0, 0, 2. This is D, and this is the diagonalization matrix. So therefore, matrix A is diagonalizable. See, this is 1, 2, and after doing the whole process, whatever we get the D, and our D is what? Diagonalizable matrix. It means only diagonal elements are there and other elements are converted to the 0. And after doing, see, only diagonal elements are there and the other elements are converted into the 0. So by getting this answer, we can say that matrix A is diagonalizable. Okay, students? Now, as we want A raised to 10, that's why I'm telling that please remember this formula. See this one, right? A raised to n, A raised to n, P D raised to n, P inverse. Here we want to find A raised to 10. So A raised to 10 means what? P D raised to 10, P inverse, right? So as per the rule here, this one is P, this one is P inverse, and P raised to 10. So I am putting here. In general, this is this one is raised to 1, 0, 0, 2 raised to n. By the multiplication of these two matrix and by with this one, we get this. And by putting n by 10, we get 1 square and 2 square. By putting n equal to 10, we get eigenvalues of a square are 1 square and 2 square, right? So this is the answer of the given question. So please let me know if you have any doubt. Okay. So 1 minute. Okay. 1 and okay. So let's move with one more example. See, find matrix that diagonalize A. Show that D equal to P inverse AP, where A is. In this example, I have taken 3 by 3 matrix, right? See, this is our given matrix. But if you see carefully this matrix A is an upper triangular matrix because all the elements below this main diagonal element are 0. It means this matrix is upper triangular matrix. Please, students, be careful. When you have given an upper triangular matrix, you can directly write the eigenvalues. You have no need to do any steps for finding the eigenvalues, and your eigenvalues are 2, 3, 3. It means your eigenvalues are your main diagonal elements. This rule is for upper triangular matrix only, right? It means you have two different eigenvalues, that is 2 and 3. 3 is repeating here. Now, it means our first step is complete. We have already find our eigenvalues. Now we'll move for eigenvector. For eigenvector, this is our characteristic equation. Okay, by applying characteristic equation, let's take lambda equal to 2 in this characteristic equation. By doing this, here 2 minus 2 is 0. So 0, 0 minus 2, this one is 0, 1, 0 and 0, 0, 1, right? So by this equation, we can directly solve that 0 into x1, 0 into y1, minus 2 into z1. So we have first equation, that is minus 2 into z1 equal to 0. It means z1 equal to 0. From the second equation, y1 equal to 0, right? And from the third one, again z1 equal to 0. From first one, z1 equal to 0. From second one, y1 equal to 0. And from third one, again z1 equal to 0. There is no limitations for x1. It means here our x1 is our free variable. So let x1 is equal to t, right? So eigenvector, this is the symbol of eigenvector for lambda equal to 2. If we take t common, then here is 1 and this is 0, 0, right? Where t belongs to R. So if I take t equal to 1, my first eigenvector is what? 1, 0, 0. Similarly, for x2, we want to find the eigenvector for lambda equal to 3. So by substituting lambda equal to 3 in our characteristic equation, we have this equation. So here minus x2 minus 2z2 equal to 0, right? This is our equation. Students, in these equations, we have two equations which are 0 from both the sides. See, second row and third row. Both are 0 from both the sides. It means here, in this case, we have two free variables, right? So let's assume that z2 is A, one free variable, and y2 is B, that is other free variable. So by substituting z2 in this equation, so value of x2 is what? Minus 2a, right? So x2, this x2 is minus 2a. y2 is B and z2 is A, right? So if I represent this vector in the form of A and B, so by taking A common, here we have -2, at that time this one is 0 and here is 1. And by taking B common, this is 0, 1 and 0. It means we have two different vector, -2, 0, 1 and 0, 1, 0. This is second vector. This one is the third vector. It means the matrix P is x1, x2, x3. Our first vector, that is 1, 0, 0, right? -2, 0, 1 and 0, 1, 0. So 1, 0, 0, -2, 0, 1 and 0, 1, 0, which is required matrix, which is diagonalize A. In this case, all three eigenvalues are what? Real, right? And by applying these eigenvalues, we have find three different eigenvector also, right? So by by putting these three eigenvectors in this column form, we get one new matrix, that is our diagonalization matrix. Now we want to prove that D equal to P inverse AP. Okay. Also, if, listen carefully, if I put this P inverse left hand side, then PD equal to AP. So if I put PD equal to AP, then it is also same. So let's take PD. P, that is my this one matrix. D is what? D is diagonalization matrix. What is the meaning of diagonalization matrix? Only diagonal elements are there and other elements are 0, right? So by multiplication of these two matrices, we get equation 3. And similarly, A is what? Our given matrix. A is our given matrix, right? And P is this one matrix. So by multiplication of A and P, we get equation 4. And by equation 3 and equation 4, PD is equal to AP. Both are same. It means D equal to P inverse AP. PD equal to AP means D equal to P inverse AP, which we want to prove. Okay. So if you have, see, there are two ways for proof or for finding the diagonalization matrix. In this case, this is 3 by 3 matrix. So if you want to prove D equal to P inverse AP, then first you have to find P inverse. Then you have to multiply P inverse into A. Then you, whatever answer you will get, then you have to multiply with P. But if you want to do with the shortcut method, you also apply this method also. PD equal to AP. D is what? Diagonalization matrix. So if you prove answer of PD is equal to answer of AP, then you can say that your matrix A is diagonalized, right? Any doubt, students? Let me know if you have any doubt. Let me know if you have any doubt. Okay, okay. So let's move. So that matrix is not diagonalizable. Show that your matrix A is not diagonalizable. This is your matrix A. The characteristic equation is determinant of A minus lambda equal to 0, right? So by this characteristic equation, you may write that 2 minus lambda, right? This is also upper triangular matrix, right? So you may directly write, students, you may directly write your eigenvalues are what? This is upper triangular matrix. See, all below elements of the main diagonal elements are 0. So you may directly write your eigenvalues are 2, 2 and 2. No need to do these things, right? No need to do all these things. As this is upper triangular matrix, you may directly write this one. Okay. Yes, very good. Yes, Jay, you are right. So our first task is complete. And our first task is eigenvalues are 2, 2, and 2. Okay. Yes, 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 Divya, you can do in this exam. This is the rule, and you have to apply this rule. This is the smart way. Okay. You can write directly in the exam also, right? Now, as we have one diagonal vector, lambda equal to 2, right? So by applying this lambda equal to 2 in the characteristic equation, we got this equations. Okay, agree? By this equation, here y equal to 0, z is also 0 from the second row. And from the third row, both sides are 0. It means we have one free variable. And here y is 0, that is fixed. Z is 0, that is also fixed. So we have remaining variable is x, and that is free. So we assume that x is equal to t, where t belongs to r, right? So here x is t, y0, z0, by if we take t common, that is 1, 0, 0. So tx1, where x1 is an eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 2, right? Here, since the matrix A has, now listen carefully, this is the most important point. Since the matrix A has only one linearly independent eigenvector, which is less than its order 3. Therefore, matrix A is not diagonalizable. I have told you about the statement of the two theorems. See this one. Important theorem statement, right? First statement is this one. First statement is, if A is any n cross n matrix, then matrix A is diagonalizable if and only if A has n linearly independent eigenvector, right? I told you, if A has less than n linearly independent eigenvector, then that matrix is not diagonalizable, and we are using this theorem. And by using this theorem, we can say that the given matrix A is not diagonalizable. Okay, students, any doubt? Any doubt about this example? Okay. Okay, okay. Thank you, Dhruv. So, okay, let's start with one more example. Okay, see, this is for your practice. So please take a screenshot and show that the matrix A is not diagonalizable. You have to do by yourself at home. If you have any doubt, let me ask through call or through message on Telegram for this homework, right? So let's move with one more example. This is another. This is the topic of diagonalization, but this is little bit different example. Determine a diagonal matrix orthogonally similar to the real symmetric matrix. Also find the model matrix, right? So here A is our given matrix. As we want to find the diagonal matrix, so the rules are same. First, we start with the characteristic equation, and by applying the characteristic equation, we have total 3 eigenvalues, 2, 3, and 6. All eigenvalues are real and distinct, right? Now, for lambda equal to 2, for the first eigenvalue, lambda equal to 2, if A minus lambda I x equal to 0. So by applying lambda equal to 2 in this equations, so we have this matrix, right? So here we have, see carefully, here first row and second row are same. So it means here we have two different row, and we need just two different row for finding the values of x, y, and z. So from the first row, We have x minus y plus z equal to 0 from the second row, minus x plus 3y minus z equal to 0. By applying Cramer's rule, we have the value of x, y, and z, that is minus t, 0, and t, right? Minus t, 0, and t. So if I get t common, my first eigenvector, that is minus 1, 0, 1. So this is the eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 2. Let's do the same thing for lambda equal to 3. So by applying lambda equal to 3, we have again 3 different equations. By taking 2 equations out of them, minus y plus z equal to 0. Here minus x plus 2y minus z equal to 0, right? And again by applying Cramer's rule, we have x equal to y equal x equal to y equal to z x equal to y equal to z, and that is all are same. So if I get t common, then that is 1, 1, and 1. So here this 1, 1, 1, that is x2, is an again eigenvector corresponding to lambda equal to 3. And for the last eigenvalue, that is lambda equal to 6, by applying lambda equal to 6 in this characteristic equation, we have again 3 different equation, and by applying first equation from the first row and second one from the second row, that is minus 3x minus y plus z equal to 0 and minus x minus y minus z equal to 0. By applying Cramer's rule, the value of x, y, and z, that is t minus 2t and t. So if I get t common, here 1 minus 2, 1. So this is my third eigenvector, that is corresponding lambda equal to 6. Okay, now listen carefully. Here, matrix A has 3 linearly independent eigenvectors, which is same as its order. Therefore, the matrix A is diagonalizable. Okay, any doubt till this step? It means we have proved that our given matrix A is diagonalizable matrix. Any doubt? Okay. Now let's move ahead. See, we want to prove that A is diagonalizable matrix, but we want to prove that, or we want to determine a diagonal matrix which is orthogonally similar to this matrix. Okay, orthogonally similar. That's why our next step is now here we find the length of the eigenvector x1. Length of the eigenvector x1. For finding the length, and our eigenvector x1 is what? Minus 1, 0, 1. So square root of this minus 1 square plus 0 square plus 1 square. So length of x1 is root 2. Similarly, the length of the eigenvector x2 is root 3. And length of the eigenvector x3 is root 6. Now, for the normalized eigenvector, what is our x1, students? Our x1 is, see this one. This is our x1. This is what? Minus 1. This is minus 1, 0, and 1. For the normalization of x1, I am substituting here. This is length is what? Root 2. So minus 1 upon root 2, 0, and 1 upon root 2. Similarly, for x2, our second eigenvector is what? 1, 1, and 1. Okay. For the normalization of that vector, here, as per the rule, 1 upon root 3, 1 upon root 3, and 1 upon root 3. And similarly, for the third vector, our third eigenvector, that is 1, 2, 1. So by doing 1 upon root 6, 2 upon root 6, and 1 upon root 6. This is the normalized eigenvector. These three are normalized eigenvector. Now, the next step, the model matrix, the normalized eigenvector as its column vector. So this is our first normalized eigenvector. This is second normalized eigenvector. And this one is third normalized eigenvector. This is my model matrix P. Now, as they ask the orthogonal matrix, so as per the rule for the orthogonal matrix, P inverse is equal to P transpose. Listen carefully. P inverse is equal to P transpose. So this is our P, and for finding the P inverse, P transpose, what is the meaning of transpose matrix? Every row will convert into the column, or we can say every column will convert into the row. So by doing this first, minus 1 by root 2, 1 by root 3, 1 by root 6, I have written this row into the column, right? Similarly, the second row is second column, and the third row is third column. So I get this P inverse. Okay. So here D is what? D is P inverse AP. Here P inverse is P transpose. So this P transpose A and P. You get this normalized. You get this normalized eigen matrix, normalized matrix, right? Which is orthogonal. See, this is the only element of main diagonal, and other elements are 0. This is if you don't want to multiply this 2 times this 3 by 3 matrix, you may also apply the rule. You may also apply the rule PD is equal to AP if you wish. Okay. So you may prove by both the way. So this is the answer, and this is the answer of, they've asked the determine diagonal matrix orthogonally similar, and this is the orthogonally similar to this symmetric matrix. Okay, so any doubt for this example? Mahir, they ask for the, this is the rule of the orthogonal matrix, Mahir. When we make any matrix, listen, huh? Yes, your question is right. Why we are writing this P inverse is equal to P transpose? So when we make any matrix with the eigenvector, with the help of the eigenvector, and these three are linearly independent, right? So when we make a matrix with the linearly independent eigenvector, at that time P inverse is equal to P transpose, and at every time they satisfy the rule of the orthogonality, right? That's why we can directly put that P inverse is equal to P transpose. Now got it? Because our P is, this matrix is from linearly independent eigenvector, right? Okay. If anyone else have any doubt, let me ask, as this is the last example and the last method also from the matrices, right? So please do practice of the matrices. The main methods are Gauss elimination. Second is Gauss-Jordan. And with the help of Gauss-Jordan, you have also find the inverse, right? And the next one, we have done the Cayley-Hamilton, right? Yes, I forgot to write the eigenvalue, eigenvector. Right? This is also helpful in the Cayley-Hamilton and in our today's topic, that is diagonalization method, right? So these 5 are the most important, and with the help of Gauss-Jordan, you have to do the practice for finding the inverse. Okay, so please students, do more and more practice, and if you have any doubt, you may ask through call or you may ask through Telegram, right? Okay, as we have very less time, so if you have any doubt about today's lecture, you may ask.